I honestly feel like we treat athletes wrong as fans. Now, I'm not trying to say that this excuses everything that they do, because it definitely doesn't. But I feel like we should treat them as humans. Now, obviously, if they're on my team and it's an important game and they put up a shitter performance, I'm gonna curse their whole bloodline. That's just kind of unavoidable, right? And I will wish misfortune on them, of course. But that's not even really what I'm talking about. I feel like we give athletes such monumentous expectations that really only a superhero could fulfill. I felt this for a long time, that superhero, DC, Marvel fans and sports fans have a lot of overlap. The same kind of conversations, like, I don't know if this is really accurate to the specific names, but just follow me through here. People be like, Superman 616 would absolutely dog walk Prime Green Lantern, bro. Jordan Green Lantern would literally destroy Wanda, dude. It'd be like, it wouldn't even be close. It's the same kind of conversations as, dude, Miami Braun would just dog walk 2016 Curry, which is not true. 2016 Curry would be on that ass immediately. Anyway, I'm getting a little fired up. But they put these expectations, me included, I can't lie, put these expectations upon players that only a superhero story could fulfill. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of this is because Michael Jordan. As much as I do think LeBron is the GOAT, Michael Jordan just has the absolute perfect story. Homegrown hero, his team is literally buns. He turns them into a dynasty. They win 6 rings. He wins 3 in a row, plays baseball for a year, comes back, and you would think, oh, he's done, there's gonna be a twilight. Nope, he wins 3 again. Like, oh, what? Who does that? And he does this with the same team that drafted him, with the same players. And he was by far the best player on all of those teams, of course. Imagine you're in the 90s and everything that you're seeing, all the highlights are Jordan. Jordan's the most athletic player. He's the most skilled player. He's the winningest player. So over and over, he's also the most stylish player, the most influential player. You're seeing this dude everywhere. You're hearing he's winning all these things. He's got all these crazy dunks. He's got all these trophies. Literally, he's everywhere. I understand why people think he's the GOAT, right? And his perfect story, let's be honest, a lot of it is hard work, of course. He worked very hard to get where he was, but a lot of it is luck. He got very lucky that he had a great front office that put a great team around him. He got lucky that front office was given opportunities to make great choices, right? If they never had Scottie Pippen in the draft, if he just didn't play basketball, he decided it wasn't for him, he went to swimming instead, yeah, that's luck right there, of course. So he got very lucky. And then there's two cases I also want to talk about, Damian Lillard and LeBron James. They were in the same exact scenario that Jordan was. Their team is ass. They're losing a whole lot of games, but they are a bright spot on that team. Well, LeBron James did, as everybody knows. He said, I'm taking my talents down to South Beach. He was tired of losing. He was doing literally as much as he could for his team. He was putting his booty on the line, bringing them to the finals, bringing these 60-win bum squads to the finals. And he said, you know what? I've had enough. We're not winning. We do not have enough. As hard as I try, we will not win. I am not the common denominator here. I'm not the factor that is making us lose. It is out of my control, so I'm going to do something that's in my control and try and win. And he did. He went to Miami and he won. And I think that's absolutely fair enough. People completely got on him for this. People are going, what? You're supposed to stick it out. You're just supposed to stick it out with the team that drafted you. You're supposed to get it out the mud. What the hell, LeBron? You're like the villain now because you're trying to win. Because you're trying to win. You're trying to do the thing that every athlete, scratch that, every human wants to do, succeed. People got on him for trying to succeed. Do you not realize how crazy that is? And then we have the opposite of this. We have Damian Lillard. If you don't know, he was on the Portland Trail Blazers, and they are also buns, booty, butthole, crack, all right? They are winning an average of 15 games. That's not true, but they're not good. Point is, they're not good. Damian Lillard was always fantastic on those teams. He would put up a ton of points, and he would even drag them way further into the playoffs than they should have been, to be honest. And every time he would put up big numbers on good efficiency, he would play his ass off, and his teammates would just sell the bag, and he would lose because of no fault of his own, really because his teammates just weren't up to par, because his front office just couldn't build a successful team around him. And what he did instead was stick with his team. He stayed with that team and lost over and over and over again. But he had this persona of someone who loves the grind. He's not going to be afraid. He's not going to run from hardship. He's going to get through it and he's going to get to the mountaintop. But that never happened because his front office literally was just so inadequate that they were unable to build a winning team around him. And somehow, even though he took the exact opposite route as LeBron, he still gets criticism for it. People like to call him comfortable. They like to call him a big fish in a small pond, somebody who can put up big numbers on a team that doesn't really have any aspirations to win anything. Which is true, but also, if he had left and gone to a better team, people would have been calling him a ring chaser. People would have been getting mad at him for trying to win. They would have been mad at him for trying to win and said, you should have grinded it out. And then he stayed instead and he grinded it out, and people saying, you shouldn't have grinded it out. You should have tried to go and win. You cannot win as an athlete. Literally, you cannot win. And let's say you do stay. You grind it out. You get with that team and you win. You get to the top of the mountain, you win. Fantastic, you've done it. By the way, your name is Giannis Antetokounmpo and you're with the Bucks. Or Antetokounmpo, sorry. You've won with the Bucks, and now the team is falling apart around you. And you're in this same area again because you've won once. Okay, big whoop. People want you to win again. You're not great until you've won 6 times. Because then you're just chasing Kobe. Then you're just chasing Tim Duncan. Then you're just chasing Jordan. As long as you're chasing, you're not really winning. Every ring in between 0 and 6, actually every ring in between 2 and 6 doesn't matter. Going from 0 to 1 matters, and everything 2 plus does not matter. Or 2 until 6 doesn't really matter. In another case study, we have Tobias Harris. If you don't know, he was given a terrible contract by the Philadelphia 76ers. He was a pretty good player, but they overpaid him massively. They gave him $180 million for 5 years, if I remember correctly, which, if you don't know, is ridiculous. And if you also don't know, I don't know how you would have been this far through the video with not knowing this about basketball, but the more you pay a player, the less you can pay other players. So they were sacrificing their ability to get other better players by paying him so much. And he played okay. He played just all right. He played anywhere ranging from all right to kind of bad. But he was never terrible. He was never good either. He was just okay to bad. But people got mad at him for this. People got mad at him for having that contract. If you were slid 170 M's in front of you and you know you're low-key not worth 170 M's, you're signing that immediately. Obviously, you're signing that immediately. And it blows my mind how people will put these expectations on athletes like there's some sort of moral superhero who's always going to do the right thing, and they somehow act as if this isn't a business, and they act as if doing the right thing will get that player what they want, which is success. But that's just not what happens, and it feels like the players know this, and the fans either don't know this or don't care about this. And I understand you want to have your perfect stories. Of course you can want to have that. But people will go out and harass players like Tobias Harris or Paul George that are getting paid way too much. Listen, I get it. They're on your team. You feel like they should be playing for what they're being paid for, right? But that's just not how this works. If you know you're getting overpaid, you're going to take that deal. You are going to take that deal. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. And even if a player does succeed, they do exactly what the public has said that they want them to do, stay and grind it out, they still get berated. And even if the public if they stay and grind it out and they win, okay, that's great, what next? You need to win again. And then again, and then again, and then again, and then again, and only this one matters. Only this one. Actually, I guess this one would matter too. Okay, I guess this one too, because then you match Kobe. But the point is, there's no way to win as an athlete unless you have a perfect superhero story. You have to go from the bottom of the barrel, because if you start on a good team, you're not going to get that much respect, right? Because it wasn't really you that was winning. It was whoever was good on your team, right? Same way that a player like, I forgot his name, Patrick McCaw. If you know Patrick McCaw, you know ball, bro, dude. You know hitting ball. But Patrick McCaw was drafted by the Warriors, and he played with them during their back-to-back championship seasons, right? He won those 2 chips, and then he was traded to the Raptors, or I think he was traded. Anyway, he ended up on the Raptors, and he won again. So he had a three-peat of his own. But because he wasn't the Finals MVP all 3 times, like doesn't really matter. There are so many expectations and so many conflicting desires that there's no way to win unless you are perfect. And there's only been one player lucky enough, skilled, obviously, but ultimately lucky enough, because there are plenty of players that are very skilled. I wouldn't say as skilled as Michael Jordan, but very skilled, extremely skilled, who just do not end up with the luck to have a good team around them, allowing them to win. And then we have a player like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is maybe the dumbest smart person I've ever seen in my entire life, I think. He's definitely up there. Because what he said is very obviously true. He said every player in the NBA is either chasing rings, money, or shot attempts. And he's absolutely right. And you will get berated for all three of those things if you are an athlete, which is so unbelievably unfair because every single player in the NBA is doing it. And I don't know why any human would expect any other human to expect to not be chasing those three things when they're playing a professional sport. Obviously. What else would they be chasing? Legacy? Yes. I suppose that falls under rings. But those are the three things that you're going to be chasing, obviously. And I understand why people got mad at Kevin Durant, honestly. Even as a Warriors fan, when he came to the Warriors, I'm not going to hold you, I was very young. I was like, 8? So my little 8-year-old self was as hyped as I could be. But obviously, that is, in the sports world, that is a weak move. I understand it. You're trying to win, for sure. But that is literally the most guaranteed way to win. And that's not, I feel that's not really what people say when they say they want to win as an NBA player. They want to be the finals MVP. They want to be the focal point. They don't want to be the cherry on top, right? But Kevin Durant was the cherry on top. Now, he was a sweet-ass, big-ass, red-ass, juicy-ass cherry, right? Okay, that sounds a little homoerotic. But anyway, he was obviously a fantastic cherry, but the cake was already made, you know? That cake would have been delicious with or without the cherry. Now, would they have been the best cake in the competition? Maybe, maybe not. But with him? Or, like, they were still going to be in that cake contest no matter what. And Kevin Durant tries to defend this. He says the one smart thing, that people are chasing rings, shot attempts, money. But then he also has his head so far up his own ass that he's going to try and say that the LeBron to Philly move is more offensive to the basketball world than him going to the Warriors. The Warriors were so much better than Philly is. Yes, they got Jaylen Brown. We haven't seen what they would look like with Jaylen Brown, of course. But the Warriors just set the new wins record. They just went to 7 games in the finals. This is a fantastic team. Obviously, Philly was like fine last year. Philly with Jaylen Brown, I'm sure would be pretty good. Like quite good. But nowhere near the 2016 Warriors. And to try and pretend like they're even remotely in the same stratosphere is just a joke, honestly. So, all in all, we need to stop pretending like athletes are superheroes and keep remembering that these are normal human beings that are going to make normal human being moves. You don't have to be happy with everything they do, but don't act like it's some out of the blue, unexpected, random event. These are people that want money and fame and high stats. Duh. If I was in the NBA, I'd want those three things too. Everybody would. That's why they're in the NBA, right? So just remember that. If a player fails your team, yes, you can curse their whole bloodline. Yes, you can wish harm upon them, and don't do that. In your mind, don't harass them. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell.